The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Fore!
Welcome, friends, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word, the show that gives you the inside scoop on the best public courses in New England and other golf hotspots. So whether you're a worm burner or a total ace, join us at the 19th hole while we talk all things golf. Now approaching the tee box, your hosts, Craig and Jeanine Dufton.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome Jeanine, welcome Chrissy, and welcome to Rob Hardy. We're on the tee with Rob Hardy today.
Welcome, Rob Hardy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
PGA Professional, and he is the head golf pro, right? Am I saying that right? At Crystal Lake Country Club in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Many of you may know Crystal Lake. We've talked about it a few times on our podcast.
One of our favorites.
It's also, for those who are old enough to remember it like me, it was Crystal Springs, and it's not Crystal Springs anymore. Front Nine segment is brought to you by United Compressor and Pump Services. And Rob, welcome to this is our beautiful new Elk Mortgage Sound stage. What do you think?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot, huh?
Absolutely.
A lot of fun.
Great to have you here. We've been trying to get you on the show for a couple of months. We got you here, and I'm happy. You know, a lot of people think our show is just about golf courses, but we are going to bring you everything about New England golf that we possibly can, and local golf stories. And Rob and I have known each other. We were just talking about it before the podcast since 1996, 97 timeframe. Yep. A lot of New Hampshire golf together.
That's great.
And I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to let Rob talk. And why don't you just start with, I know you hailed from Pelham, New Hampshire, right? Is that where you're originally from or no?
No.
Okay.
I live presently in Pelham, New Hampshire. I'm an inner city kid from Lawrence. Not a lot of golf pros coming out of Lawrence back in the day.
One.
Beautiful city.
Well, actually two that
Two?
I know of. Actually three. I can't remember the young man's last name, but the assistant pro over at Vesper, and his name will come back to me because I'm getting old. But
just blurt it out when it comes to you.
Yeah.
I will. So it's I'm an older guy now. So I grew up in the 70s and 80s in Lawrence. Played a lot of golf at Pine Valley. It's the only place really when you grew up in the inner cities, your old man could drop you off at a golf course at 10 o'clock and pick you up at
That's great.
At 5 o'clock, and he'd come and play 9 holes with me as well.
What did your dad do during the day?
So my dad was a third shift shipper for Nissen Bakeries down on Essex Street in Lawrence.
Sure.
So he'd have Wednesdays off. So that was my day with my dad.
That's great.
So I'd have one day a week where we'd go up and I'd play golf with him on Wednesday morning. He'd go home, go to sleep, come back, pick me up. And that's how I got into the game.
How old were you?
Oh, I think I started about 7 years old.
Oh,
That's
great.
Yeah, one day a week. Baseball is my first love, but golf was always
Sounds
there.
like our sons, same thing.
Yep. So, obviously, I had a couple questions written down for you, and one of them was who got you into golf, and I'm assuming that your dad was the one who got you into golf, or did you acquire it from, obviously kids in Lawrence at that time down on Essex Street aren't really thinking about hitting the links. I was a product of that time frame too, with Crown Gallery and what was the record store that was down there?
Oh, my goodness
Toontown or
Lawrence
something
was
like that.
Toontown,
Our parents were there back in
Mickey
the day.
Sports
Yep.
and Woolworths.
Yep.
We used to get shoes down there, too.
Caps.
There was a shoe store.
Caps.
Right?
Cherry and
Isn't there a
Webb,
shoe
everything
store?
was down there.
Yeah.
I worked at Ellington Trust Bank down there
Right in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, so the big influence, would be my father, who's got me into the game. One of the catalysts, the original owner, Herb Madden and Todd Madden, the people that own
Pine Valley. Yep.
right? And Todd still owns it.
Yep.
Were very, very nice to me and very, very nice to juniors, and always made us feel welcome.
Sure.
That's great.
But as far as kids in the neighborhood, I still run into people that I grew up with said, I didn't know you played golf. Because back
I
in the
was
day,
7.
but it was one day a week. They just didn't notice I wasn't there on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Everybody would just go down to the park, the Hayden School.
Everybody's playing Babe Ruth, and
What are we playing today? Who had a baseball, who had
Yeah.
a football? That's
Right.
what we were doing. That's how we got things done
Awesome.
back.
did you
then.
graduate from Lawrence High?
I did not. I went to Central Catholic.
Central, okay.
So that was a another stepping stone. My brother graduated in '77, and to my detriment, my brother was the captain of the golf team all 4 years.
Okay.
But I went there to play baseball.
How many years apart were you and your brother?
Oh, so I'm one of 5. I'm the baby. I was
I'm
definitely
the baby of 7.
Baby of 7.
Yeah.
But on between 4 and 5 is like 8 or 10 years. I was definitely.
Oh my God! Here comes Rob.
You're what?
Yeah, that was me. That was me too. I'm 5 years. I'm 5 years between my older brother.
Yeah, so it's 18 years between me and the oldest, and 8 years between me and the next youngest. So my brother was he graduated '77. I graduated '86. That puts us.
So you had a shadow that you stepped into.
Yeah, and he was salutatorian too. So
you and
really no pressure.
You and I are the same age. We're both.
Oh my God,
We're both
that's
53,
so funny.
right?
Yep,
You're 53 now, and I have a brother graduated in '77 too from Austin Prep, and not Central Catholic, but. I have a brother in between. Unlike you, I was a 5-year oops. You were 8 years.
Yeah, I only had one brother. I had 3 sisters. So.
Oh, nice.
I remember entering high school with my cards to sign up for classes, and they said, another Goslin. I'm like, oh my God. I got through the line fast, though.
Like Catholics, you like to procreate and spread it all over.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, that's
I don't think we have enough time.
Back then they
I
did.
saw your eyes go.
Back then they did.
Wait,
not now.
what?
Not these days. It's like you have
Politics,
1.2
religion.
1.2 kids.
Yeah,
So
1.2 kids
Yeah.
picket fence.
So
Anyway.
your brother was your brother
Golf
an
in the
influence
back.
for you on golf too?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he played over at Pine Valley as well. And again, it's kind of funny. I ended up as golf as a profession, and I've been in golf my whole really adult life because I was like an assistant greenskeeper not assistant, but I was just cutting greens and stuff at Pine Valley. Yeah. Really, I don't think I had too many jobs outside the golf realm.
Yeah.
You probably enjoyed that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I got
Cutting the lawn and being
so
outside
lucky. I find myself, I consider myself very lucky. I don't have a complaint in the world. So Richard was a great golfer, is a great golfer, still likes to beat me. He lives out in Syracuse.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
well, take us through. Let's talk about how you became a pro. You went to Central Catholic. Did you go on to college after that, or did you just go?
Yeah.
For
So
golf?
to really explain the whole context, so the first 13 years of my life were just perfect, right? You had 7 people in a first floor of a 3 tenement.
Yep.
Very close family. You got really no choice but to be close.
Yeah.
To the point you want
like
to choke
literally
each other out.
rubbing shoulders close.
That's what he says. You guys we're always, I said, because we grew up like that.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
this
we're-
hive.
Yeah, exactly. grandparents on the second floor, cooking
gross.
Italian food.
Sure.
Just, you can't,
Even
can't
more so
beat
than
it.
mine.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Down the road, so how things transition from baseball to golf and high school and all that stuff is my mom passed away young at 13.
Geez.
But at that time, so the other 4 kids are gone, right? So it's me and my dad. So I learned how to cook, learned how to take care of stuff around the house, So you're kind of growing up quick, and then you get through that whole thing, and then my dad passes away when I'm like sophomore in college.
So they were older though, right? I'm assuming because you're 18 years from your oldest.
Right. Yeah. So when my dad passed away, it became like who's going to take care of Rob now? Where's Rob going to come home to? And it's like whatever. And we had a little bit of money from the sale of the 3 tenement, and we split it up. And I told my brother, I said, listen, a good friend of mine, Al Santos, out of Lowell, a great golfer, turned pro, and he was going down and play some mini tours down in Florida and take lessons from some high-end teachers.
Yeah.
And he said, my brother says, well, if you want to go. I mean, you're never going to have this chance again.
Sure.
So I took my little bit of money and I
awesome.
went out to Doral. Now, Jim McLean's there now. He's a big-name teacher. But back in 1989, 1988 was Jimmy Ballard. And I don't know how much, if you remember him at all.
I do.
He was very flamboyant, boom, 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 all kinds of stuff going on there. But he had everybody.
Right.
He had Curtis Strange, he had Hal Sutton, he had Nick Faldo, he had all these guys that were winning everything in the late 80s.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So, very exciting.
Yeah, it's great. It's one actually the 80s golf was one of, honestly, before Tiger, Hal Sutton was just like the ultimate, like he was almost like an Arnold Palmer. You know what I mean? Like he just a working class guy. You gotta love those characters. And Sir Nick Faldo, of course, who
Everybody loved to hate.
Yeah.
You
love to hate the guy, and then he just steps right into that role where you don't want the Masters. Okay, I'll take it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So
We're not talking about Greg Norman today at all. So by the way,
his round of golf really wasn't that bad. Nick's was just awesome.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but he did choke in that tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. So I go down and I can't afford Jimmy Ballard.
Yeah.
So I get his assistant. I won't name him, but so Jimmy was $350 an hour in 1988. $350 an hour.
Wow.
So Artie McNichol is $175 an hour.
That's a lot.
No, and you're 20 years old.
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. I got a little pot of money, and I go down there. I'm not a tour caliber golfer,
Yeah.
But I'm shooting low 70s, high 60s,
Yeah.
So, and that's everybody can do that. Everybody could go much lower than that. I'm just going down there to see if I can get to the next level.
Just having fun. And
Yeah. So
did you have the
No
intention
stress.
of just becoming a teaching pro, or did you actually want to try to compete?
I wanted to play.
Yeah.
I wanted to play. That's
Okay.
what you do when you're a kid, right?
Sure.
So you get into golf, that's the biggest
Our
folklore.
23-year-old is on fire right now. He's like, I wanna
Same
play,
way.
I want to play.
Yeah. Don't let him in the business.
He lives in Hawaii.
Okay.
Both our sons, so he golfs all the time.
Right, but if he becomes a golf pro, he's not going to golf.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is
Don't go in the
right.
business.
Yeah,
I was going to say that's one of my questions I was thinking of. I'm like, I don't think you golf
Okay.
much when you're a golf pro.
Good advice.
and that's asked me for a quote. That's one of my other quotes. I mean, I was a great
Oh,
golfer
that's
until
true.
I
When you
turned
think
pro.
about it.
Once I turned pro, it's just then you're just working all the time.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And that's what I do now. And that's,
Wow.
I
What
bring,
a point
I,
of view.
I bring golf to other people, and
Sure.
that's my job. So, short story long, right? I take an hour with Art. Yeah, I'm going to say his name, Artie McNichol, and I went down there shooting a 68. So he says, grab your longest iron that you like. So I grab a 4-iron. He says, hit these 3 balls, and he films me from every direction.
Yeah.
And I hit 3 really good 4-irons, and I'm not a really good long iron player at the time.
Yeah.
So we go inside. He puts me on the screen, watches the 3 swings. He goes, yeah. So I like your grip. That was it.
That was it.
And then we went out there with a straight jacket and some ropes and some hula hoops and I couldn't get every time I did hit one, I had to roll it. And he said, great, excellent.
It's the hula hoop to get
that
your
was the end of it.
twisting motion.
Went down there shooting 72, came back shooting 80.
Wow. All right, so that didn't work out. We're going to take
What's
a
the
break.
hula hoop?
We're going to take a break really quick, Rob, because we got to pay the bills around here, and we're going to take the turn, and we'll be back for the back nine with Rob Hardy. Hold on one second.
And your home loan is closed.
Thanks for making this happen.
We're one of the top military lenders for a reason.
After all you've done to get me approved, you're my hero.
Oh, thanks, but you're the hero.
Coming?
I think my work is done.
Still my hero.
So get started with Elk Mortgage Team today. Call Josh Frias on 603-714-2438 or visit elkmortgageteam.com.
All right, welcome back. Oh, I love that cute little music you got going on there, Chrissy. Every week there's something new with
Yeah,
Chrissy.
she's different.
I
She's
try and impress
awesome.
you every week.
Chrissy, how'd you find the first half of our show, the front nine? Did you like it?
Yes.
Were you interested in what Rob has to say?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's
On
listen
the
to some
edge
more.
of my seat. Let's
Rob's
hear some
not.
more.
We're in a story with
Quite
Rob
interesting.
Hardy, our friend and longtime friend and professional golfer. He works at one of our favorite local courses, which, by the way, what an amazing job Sterling Golf has done, and with you as well on this golf course. The greens. You just held a mass golf there event a couple of weeks ago, right? And was it ladies or
No,
was
we
it-
did. So we hosted the qualifier for the Massachusetts Pub Links Championship.
Okay.
So, Mass Golf's the amateur golf association in Massachusetts, and the Pub Links is one opportunity for somebody that's not a member of a private club to qualify for the majors.
Yep.
So you have a Pub Links champion playing in the Masters, a Pub Links champion playing in the U.S. Open, the PGA.
Sure.
So it's a big, long process. The winner at Crystal didn't go play the Masters, but That was the qualifier.
They got a little further along the way.
Yeah. So that we're not the stepping stone to Augusta as much as I'd like to be, but so
we can hope one day.
well, one day that'd be great. But so you have like a certain amount coming out of Massachusetts and all 50 states to go play. Then the champion, and I think the runner-up gets to play in the majors. So it's just one of those things, like the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Same principle.
Very democratic.
You can qualify.
Yes. Yep.
You got to play some insane golf for a very long period of time, but it happens. Somebody has to win.
Sounds like fun.
So
someone's got to get grind through it.
But at Crystal, thank you very much for your compliments. I had nothing to do with the greens whatsoever. But the greens and the fairways are in amazing shape. Sterling Golf purchased the golf course, I believe, 4 years ago now. This is my third year there. We have an amazing greenscaper, and you can't make the name up. I mean, his name is Ryan Green. So when your greenskeeper's got green in his name.
Yeah, somebody was destined to
Green.
play with grass his whole life. There's no doubt about it.
So he is just, he's a wizard.
Excellent.
He's not green.
He is not green.
It's one of our favorite courses in the area. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
we bring
we
it
have
up.
fun with Tracy and
We bring
Nate.
it up at
We
every
used to go there
we
a
bring it
lot.
up at every Halloween podcast that we have because we love the Crystal Lake name and the Jason and everybody. Just I really do think that like you should have a Jason there during Halloween
Right.
every now and then.
Literally
Those are
working
great
on
movies.
the logo with
Jason's
mask on it, but I can't get by any copyrights or anything.
That
So
was
we might go to the
so
Jerry
great.
Cheevers. Remember the Jerry Cheevers mask?
I sure do.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah,
I'm
there
going
you
to
go.
try, see how far I get.
I think Jerry wouldn't mind.
I don't think he would.
He was a good friend of Aunt Janice, Jerry
Is he?
Cheevers.
Yeah. I love. Well, Jerry Cheevers was when we were kids. Jerry Cheevers was it.
Yeah.
He was
that
it.
was,
He was a friend of
the
my
mask.
Aunt
His
Nichols.
mask barely covered. You know, he
Yeah.
was one of those goalies that if I have to wear a mask, it's going
That's
to be
when
like the
golf-
minimum
I mean,
amount of
napkin.
mask that
Hockey
covers
was
my
great.
face. And I'm
We
like-
watched all hockey games back
And their
then.
ears were. Remember their ears? Everything
Oh
was
my
hanging out. The back of their head was still hanging out. They didn't care back then.
Those
didn't care.
fights, oh my
No
God.
CTI back. No concussions. No. When we were
Well,
kids, people
Used
didn't
to
have
beat the
concussions.
crap
You
out
went
of
back
each
in.
other.
You're like, hey, I'm sorry.
That
about
and wrestling, well, that was fake too.
Oh,
Well, let's digress. Sorry, I apologize
How far
for.
can we go off?
I apologize
I said
for
Jerry
the-
Cheevers.
I apologize
Sorry.
for the mask golf
I
tangent.
wanted to give him a
but
little respect.
on this golf course, on this podcast, we love local golf, and we keep. If you follow our Facebook page, I'm always sharing mask golf and New Hampshire PGA. Just I want those people to see, how competitive local golf is around here. You don't have to watch Tiger Woods. You don't have to watch these pros. You can see some really good golf like right here, right now. And it's good stuff.
Yeah, and we kind of benefit being on the border because you do have the
Right.
New Hampshire chapter of the PGA, the New Hampshire Golf Association, and then you have the New England PGA and the Mass Golf. So there's plenty of opportunities. If you have kids that are looking to play golf, the opportunities are so big right now. You can get the PGA Junior League, which kids go play golf, different golf courses every week.
Sure.
There's all kinds of opportunities for all ages.
Inner city stuff. I know that what's her name at Wyndham? She does a lot of camps and stuff like that in the summertime for kids from Lowell up in Joanne Flynn.
Joanne Flynn, yeah. So one of the, you asked me earlier, big influences in my career is I got to work for Joanne for
Awesome.
a year in 2006. I learned more about the golf business in 2006 than from 1989 to 2005.
Really?
Wow.
She's absolutely amazing.
Great compliment.
She's amazing.
She's a product of an amazing father too, and she
had
has
her on
put
here yet?
so much effort into that golf course. Yeah, I had her on my old
Sorry to interrupt
podcast,
you.
but
Yeah.
we definitely I've tried to get her on here, but she's very, very quiet when it comes to talking in front of people. So
Well, she won't talk about herself.
right, yeah,
So she's not coming
So
on.
if anybody could, she would be the one that could. Like I
Yeah.
said, she's to your point. She has many junior programs. She's the first golf course in the area to bring in those extremely lightweight golf carts for people that can't walk that actually play on the cart.
yeah.
Where they can drive on the green. They just, you just drive. You turn the seat forward, then you can just strapped in and
Right.
seated. So for
Paraplegic,
people,
yeah.
So
Yep.
I've never heard of that.
yeah, so
awesome.
there's a little side story there.
I'm
Bob
impressed.
Lobel goes up there a lot because
Yeah.
he has that issue.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But she's always on the cutting edge. She's always in the forefront. She always gives back more than she takes in.
Sure.
She's the hero of the Salem Boys and Girls Club.
Sure, absolutely.
And
Her accolades are and her dad. Unfortunately, her brother just passed. And
Michael's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
her dad's legend.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody
Absolutely.
did more for junior golf than her dad. So
and
great family.
even PGA, New England PGA too. I mean, he was.
He's
He
the
was
president.
one of the founders of basically putting it on the map here in New England. So
Right.
New England golf.
Yeah, one of the
and a hell of a golfer too. Unlike Joanne, who can't golf just like you anymore because she turned her focus to.
What do you mean?
You can't.
You got some inside
I
information.
don't remember saying
No,
that.
I didn't mean you can't golf. You just don't golf anymore. I apologize. I know that you have way better ability than I do.
You had to do that.
No, I had to do that.
Yeah,
I got to stand up for Joanna myself.
No.
Sorry.
Honestly, did you work were you at Wyndham Country Club at the time? Because that was right on the
So when
cusp
I went,
of it starting, right?
Yeah, so when I went, it was there
there?
for quite some time before that. So we'll get to my timeline in golf was turned pro in '89. I worked at Meadowbrook Golf Club in Reading as an assistant. Then I went to Pine Valley to work where I grew up playing. So I was there from '96 to
That's
98.
fun.
Then I went and worked with Tony for a couple of years over there at Campbell's. Met you.
Yep.
Life-changing event, meeting you.
98. I was trying to remember when that was.
It is totally life changing.
In 2001, I went to work for golf manufacturers for about 15, 16 years.
Right,
But
you
in
were with Wilson Staff.
Wilson Staff.
Yep.
I still play their stuff. But in 2005, they had a corporate restructuring, and I had nothing to do. And Joanne said, "You want to come work for me?" And I said, "Yeah, but I have to give you a promotion." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "So I want to be the head pro. So you're going to have to be the director of golf." So I went to work for her as long as she would take the promotion.
Right.
She was very nice of her. I didn't want to take a step down on my
Sure.
on my
You don't want to be
resume.
an assistant pro. Right.
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 It's an inside joke. It's really just
No,
paperwork.
I get it. Right.
And it was fun. And so
knowing
I worked for
knowing
her.
you and knowing Joanne, it was like, okay, you're getting promoted because
Yeah.
I'm taking your spot, basically.
Yeah. That's exactly how it went down.
Yeah.
She had a problem. And, so I worked for 1 full year with her, and she taught me how to run a junior clinic. She taught me how to run tournaments better. I knew how to do a clinic, but I
don't think there's anybody who
well.
runs better tournaments than she does.
No.
I mean, honestly, even down to the catering and everything.
And
It's
she's
just
got a ladies' league it's got to have like 100 and something ladies in it. And
Crazy.
That's
Awesome.
amazing amount
Wow.
of people. Amazing amount of ladies in one place.
well, you
It
know what? It
sounds
is a
pretty
great. It
great.
is for women. It's a great golf course. You know what I mean? It's not a long golf course. I mean, especially even like Crystal. Crystal's a great women's golf course too.
Yep, they
know?
love the back nine at
Yeah.
our place, and they love the back nine over there.
Yeah.
Because it's not long.
Right.
It's tight, but, generally speaking, if you can keep it in front of you, you're in good
Yeah.
shape.
I mean, most women aren't spraying the ball 250 to 300 into the woods like men are. If they spray it, it's like, kind of, I got it off to the right or a little bit, but,
There's some girls that can rock it out
Jeanine
there,
can
though.
bomb it. Jeanine bombs it every now and then. And,
I just had 6 weeks of lessons, so
yeah.
I'm hoping we're going this weekend. So I can
Outstanding.
Yeah.
see if it works.
I'll take it to Crystal Lake. We'll go there this weekend.
Tracy may want to go too.
So I want to fill in for everybody who was listening earlier. What happened when you came back from Florida? You still had a little bit of money left. You weren't. No, maybe you didn't have any.
That positive thinking.
No, you didn't. All right. So you're penniless.
Yeah, so, I took a job at Meadowbrook in Reading, There was a job ad at the New England PGA Job Board, and I went down there and classic interview. The gentleman's name was Ed Whaley, Whalley, and I didn't know how to pronounce it. So I got a recommendation from Mr. Madden at Pine Valley. I walk in and hi, Mr. Wally. My name's Rob Hardy. I got a call from Mr. Madden, whatever, and looks at my resume, puts the resume down, looks at me, looks at my resume, looks back up, and goes, "Name's Whaley. It's $250 a week. You get 1 day off. Job's yours if you want it." He walks into the office.
You're like,
And this is how Rob Hardy got into pro golf.
And that's when I turned pro.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
So now after that, back then did you have to go to school like you do now, or what?
Yeah,
is
so-
it different now than it was then, or is it?
It's back then it was different. You had business school 1, business school 2. Then it kind of morphed into 3 business schools. So I had when I left there, before I went to Pine Valley, I kind of left for a year. I kind of got out of the business. Really not much of a story there. But when I came back, I had to start all over again. So that's kind of the program they have now. They call it it was called the GPTP, Golf Professional Training Program. You can go through it at a university now. So you can go to, your son or daughter can go to a school.
Get a bachelor's degree
in professional golf management and walk out with a Class A card. But I went through the new program at the time, and that was like it was a 6-year program. I did it in 3 because I had already done everything that I needed to do.
Yeah,
I just had to document it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you had to change grips and show all that stuff.
You had to take pictures of
you really have to show like
repair.
every aspect of the golf management, from your even turf stuff, right?
Oh, I went out to Buffalo with Peter Finnegan and another friend of mine. Yeah, that was an interesting drive.
Awesome.
I'll leave that.
Especially if Tom went with you, it was even more.
No, Tom did not go.
No, okay.
Tom did not go. We'd still be there.
We love Pete.
Yeah, we'd still be
Carla.
there if Tom went.
Would you say you'd still be there?
We'd still be there.
Yeah, we talked about Tom last week on our
I don't
show.
think you remember any of it.
You knew Tom very
Yes.
well.
Too much fun.
And
Love
you
him.
know, we were unstoppable on Monday mornings. We would be off to the races. We'd shove into Peter's Volkswagen. Ironically, he had a Volkswagen Golf.
Yes, he did.
And we would shove into that with his. Yeah, it's just bad.
You had a lot of great times with him.
I'm
and
just
Tommy.
thankful
Definitely.
that our phones weren't anywhere near like
you
our
laughed
phones
a
are
lot.
these
Oh, my
days.
goodness.
Because if I had someone filming me for some of the stuff that we did while we were golfing,
It's not to be documented.
yeah, there's
know if I even
certain
wanna
things.
know.
Things that just have to stay in the memory.
I can honestly tell you that growing up, obviously, besides getting married and my kids and all that stuff, but my love of golf, I never had a better love of golf than going Monday mornings to pro-ams with Tony. I think we
You
and I
used to
played
come
together
home
a couple
with so
times
much
too.
stuff.
Even
I got a blanket. I got an umbrella. I
and
got your shirt. I'd be like,
well, yeah,
what
I
do you
mean,
got today?
I got yelled at North Conway Country Club because I shot a 74 and I was like a 10 handicap. And I walked away with like $1,800 in pro shop credit. I bought myself some new irons.
It. When you
And
come home, I'm like,
Peter Finnegan won. Peter's like, I'm buying lunch. He and I did like a 2-man best ball between the two of us, and we were like net. It was like net 59 or 58
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Yeah, you had a lot of friends
It was
that
something
day.
ridiculous. Nobody was talking to me. They were like, yeah, you're kind of like what we call a sandbagger. And I'm like, no, I'm not really, because I doubled 18.
Well, did Peter make a par?
Yes.
That's why they called you sandbag.
Oh, yeah.
You get your score up two more
It's one of my. Actually, that's. It's going to be my.
at North Conway?
We're going to do a little putting contest with Rob in a little bit. But what other questions do we have for
Is
you?
that North Conway?
Yeah, North Conway Country Club.
Yeah, I'm
Remember.
excited for our new
So you've been
segment.
pro since that's 89. You were 21. So you've been pro for 32 years now.
Yeah, my whole
Yeah.
Wilson staff.
don't
You even,
age the
I
man.
heard you were even on the school board for a little while there. We were talking about that too.
Yeah.
Did you just didn't have enough?
Didn't have enough on my
shit
plate.
you wanted to do. You needed to go out and do some other stuff.
Sounds
You know,
familiar.
it's just it's just one of those things, right? You know,
men.
you're getting modern day, and there's a bunch of people complaining about things that they don't like, and why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? And there was a situation in Pelham, and we needed a high school, and we're in the middle of the 2008. Everything's going.
everything's
There's
going
no
south.
money.
Yep.
Everything's going south. So I signed up for a high school, like a committee to see what could be done, and then when the school board kind of like blew us off, I went down and put my name on the ballot, and then got voted in, and
Right.
and
Especially with the backing of all the people that you were just working with. You know
the
what I mean?
the whole town knew we needed one. And,
Yeah.
When you
Good
get
for
to when you're in New Hampshire, it's really grassroots. I mean, you have
especially with donor towns like
committee.
yours too. Where you're
Right.
working when you're working with another town. Like was it Wyndham?
well, Wyndham.
No, it was,
that was
it was
that,
Hudson and Pelham together.
Right. Yeah. So we have the same reps. But so went for it. Didn't get it, but got close. But we changed a few things, and now we've spent like 4 times what it costs if we
Done it
built
back
we 58.7% of the people voted. You need 60%. We were 37 votes
No
away
way.
in the middle of like a recession. That's how close we came.
And they had a chunk of kids at Salem High.
Absolutely.
They had a lot of kids at Salem
absolutely.
High. Remember, all the athletes were like,
Yeah.
they're all gone.
But Salem's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
they have all the trade school there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know,
it's really nice.
Yeah, I can't think
I
of
had
it.
a tour of it.
Honestly,
It was
out of all
great.
the schools, I mean, Pinkerton's pretty good, but Salem really all around.
Wait till you see
they
the
do a
junior
really
high.
good. Mike Delahanty there is always
It's going to be
awesome,
nicer
too.
than the high school. The junior high is supposed to be
Yeah, yeah.
unbelievable.
So quite a career you've had.
Yeah,
You know
so
what?
I worked for Wilson. You're getting to the point. So 2001, I became a rep. I worked for Wilson minus that 1 year for about 11 years. I got romanced into going to Adams Golf as an independent rep and had a great 2-3 years with them. TaylorMade bottom,
Yeah. And went.
blew it up.
Yeah.
So I was one of the last Adams guys working for TaylorMade. Then I went to Mizuno. Then I went to PXG. And then I ran a Top Golf swing suite in Boston, which is an indoor Top Golf facility.
Oh, cool.
Which
Yet to
was
go there.
that was in at the Park Plaza Hotel, still there.
Excellent.
Yeah. Then I met Jay Miller at the Boston Golf Expo, and you've met him.
Yeah.
He's very difficult.
We've met him all right.
Very difficult
yeah.
to say no to.
Yes.
You know, so
Very charismatic.
and I give him a hard time. I think I can tell this story without offending him. But so I'm down at the Boston Golf Show representing Links Fitness, which is where the Top Golf facility is.
Yep.
And where we meet over at the hitting area, the Cobra rep is there. Who's a mutual friend of ours. And I won't name him, but you know, if you know he's there, you know there's maybe a libation in the van.
Yep.
So there was nobody at the show. It was like a monsoon. So we went over there just to get a drink. To be honest, we sit down, relax. Nothing's happening. I meet Jay, and I'm leaving, and he goes, "Hey, pro." This is my best Jay Miller. "Hey, Rob Hardy. If you know anybody that's looking for a head pro job, I need somebody for Crystal Lake." I go,
I do know someone.
and I go,
Funny you
"Well,
should
it's
mention.
22 minutes from my house. Just let me know." Really? Like I said, just let me know what the job is, whatever. And I'm telling you, by the time I walked across the building back to my table, I had 2 people walk up to me and say, "Hey, I heard you're taking the general manager job over at Crystal Lake."
Jeez, that doesn't sound like Jay Miller at all.
Not at
I mean,
all.
And I go,
Hey, there's my new head.
Yeah.
as I'm going back to the table with my present boss.
Oh.
Great
yay.
conversations. He goes, "What are they talking about?" I go, "I have no idea what they're talking about." And the rest, as
It's
they say,
history.
is history.
Yeah.
Great. What a
Great
great
marriage,
story.
great guy. You know, and I played Crystal Springs, as we called it back in the 80s,
Yep.
many times. So it's like a coming home.
Nice.
All right. So
New segment.
one
I'm
last
excited.
question though before we get
okay.
to that
I'm
though, because I
jumping in.
didn't get to do it. I apologize. I want to know what's your pro highlight? Like what as your pro career? What's been, you know, helping someone out or what? Like what's the highlight of your
highlight.
pro career?
You stumped him.
Yeah, I had that answer earlier. Yeah, I don't know.
Many of them.
Yeah, pro highlight. Let's do the other thing, and I'll come back to that.
Okay. All right. We'll give him a chance to think about that because he can't think about these now. So this is our new segment. We started it a couple weeks ago, right? It is called, what is it? What do we call this?
Pressure putts.
Pressure putts. All right. So we're going to get 10 questions. You can't, I didn't give them to you ahead of time.
No.
So are
Quick
you ready?
fire.
Are you ready to try 10 pressure putts?
Let's move everything aside.
Okay.
In case I panic.
All right. So favorite golf course on the PGA Tour?
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach. Nice. Mine too. Favorite golfer? Pro or otherwise?
Tom Watson.
Nice. Best golf score you've had for 9 or 18?
Shot 29 for 9.
Very impressive.
Awesome.
Yes.
Did you watch any Olympic golf?
Yes.
Good. What's your favorite beverage after golfing?
Beer.
Most famous person you've played with?
Padraig Harrington.
Wow. Favorite music to listen to while golfing?
Country.
Nice. Most balls lost in a round that counted?
Ooh. I'll tell you, I lost.
You don't forget.
I lost.
I throw in one of these ones.
I lost 3 balls in 5 holes about 3 months ago.
in a round that counted.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks so sad.
Yeah.
I was ready for that.
All right. Favorite golf course to play besides Crystal Lake?
Myopia Hunt Club.
Where's that?
It's in Hamilton, Mass. It's my favorite place in the world.
Really?
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Hashtag Myopia Country Club. All right. That's it. Made all the pressure putts.
Well done.
Well done. Great job, Rob Hardy.
Hey.
And you can give us our quote of the week.
Thank you, audience.
Can we get a little Happy Gilmore?
I just couldn't get the ball in the hole. I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it.
There you go.
I know that one's coming every time I
That's
ask.
a great one. I love that.
All right,
always
so
right.
here's our famous quote brought to you by United Compressor and Pump. I love those guys. Located right on Route 125. Call them today at 603-552-5885.
And you have a new...
Yeah, we have a new septic truck coming. You don't want to... We're not talking septic on golf. There's been enough septic today.
That's a
Just
segue.
Yeah.
helping.
So thanks for coming out today. Why don't you give us both of those quotes because I love them both. Let's hear the first one.
All right. So the first one is, we're playing golf with somebody, and they're up to hit the ball, and they ask for advice. I said, when in doubt, swing hard in case you hit it good.
Yep. It's good
Perfect
advice.
stuff.
And if
it.
somebody says something, or you see something you really, really like, it's not like, I'm all over that like a hobo on a ham sandwich.
That's a good one.
That's
also.
fantastic.
I love it. So I had a great time today, Rob. Thank you so much for joining
too.
us.
Pleasure.
Please like us on Facebook, all the other stuff, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so many more. And as always, our golf blessing to you. May your swing be straight and the ball fly far.
May your round be blessed with no worse than par.
All right. Take care. Thank you, Rob Hardy, for Crystal
Bye,
Lake.
all.
Thanks
Have a
for having
great
me.
day.
Maybe go out there and play this weekend. Have fun.
Jason Dufresne, pro at Vesper, from Lawrence. 2 of us.
There you go. Pro moment. You want to tell us our pro moment? Your
What was
favorite pro moment?
Oh.
Your time to think about it now?
Anything.
Playing with Padraig Harrington? That's pretty.
That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Sitting down with Joe Phillips and Bob Mandrella. You're going to have to Google them. They're legends in the club making world.
Nice.
all I
Well,
got.
look them up.
All
Love
right.
it. Thanks, Rob Hardy.
Can't tell you the stories.
Next
We'll be
time
banned.
on our NC-17 podcast. Take care. Thank you.
Bye, all.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.